man, we look good, Omar. This presentation, man, whoever put this together must be like a Canva wizard.
It does look pretty sweet.
It
Okay, we
does.
ready to rock and
All
roll?
right, let's do it, baby.
Okay, present this pain point that we've been seeing in the market. If you're a veteran trying to use your VA loan within the last 2 years, you probably got beat out by an all cash offer, and you were probably told like, hey, maybe the VA loan doesn't stack the same way with the all cash offer or conventional loan. Am I right, Parker?
The market's cooling off a little bit, but we've seen 2.5 years of sellers not even looking at VA offers. And that's just unfair because the VA loan is an amazing benefit for our veterans. But regardless of whether or not it's a justified bias, the fact of the matter is we've had veterans who've not been able to get into a home and use that VA benefit. So I'm excited for us to show this pretty cool, innovative solution that will get veterans into a home using their VA benefit.
Okay, so let's jump into it. Here are three key problems that we're seeing in the market. Problem number one, you almost lose out on every house you try to buy because VA loans feel like a seller's last choice. How many people can relate to that? Problem number two, you feel overwhelmed by closing costs, furnishing a new home, and covering a possible appraisal gap on top of your daily, there's a missing word there, but on top of your daily expenses. Okay. And the last problem we've been seeing is you feel like you don't have enough funds for closing costs.
To jump in on problem two, Omar, is, and this is a question that it's not being asked right now, but it might as well be. I can almost hear veterans who want to become first time home buyers say, wait a second, problem number two, why would I feel overwhelmed by closing costs? I thought I'm a veteran. It's a $0 down loan. Why would I ever have to pay closing costs? I know that's
Oh
a
yeah.
question that you and I have gotten, right? So, do you want to take that as a veteran yourself?
To answer,
Yeah, you want to answer it? I know that's a lending question, but like you're pretty much a lender by proxy now at this point.
well, there's always going to be closing costs with the deal. I know it doesn't get talked about, but that usually gets rolled into your VA loan. So it's not like you're coming out of pocket per se. It just gets rolled into the loan. Uh, and there's always like and if there's any cost, it's always minimal. And again, that can be negotiable, or maybe the seller can give you a credit. So there's ways around it. So that's why we say that you shouldn't feel too overwhelmed, but we don't want to be, paint this rosy picture of like you're gonna probably not pay a single dime, because you are gonna have to pay for a home inspection, right? So you should come into this knowing there's gonna be some costs, but generally speaking, uh, it has the potential to be $0.
Good job,
Is
Omar.
that is
Trained you
that is
right.
that is that, is that pretty decent?
Yeah, that's the
Okay,
big thing is a VA loan is a $0 down payment loan. So you don't have to put any money for the down payment, but there are always going to be costs associated with a loan transaction that's not related to a down payment. But those are the three problems we keep seeing over and over again.
that was for veterans. Those are the pain points that we've been seeing that we're going to try to help remedy with this program that we're going to get into. And now we're going to kind of paint the full picture from the home seller perspective. Problem number one, sellers don't want to deal with government loans, FVA, FHA, because the guidelines are more strict. Problem number two, home sellers think a VA appraiser will lowball the valuation. I've seen so many stories on justice alone. And lastly, problem number three, if any inspection turns up something that wasn't originally on the disclosure and you back out, the seller has to now add that to the disclosure document and pay to have whatever it was fixed or hope it doesn't affect the next potential buyer.
Yeah, we hear this a lot from sellers to where even though they want to take the VA offer, they just have heard too many horror stories. And honestly, Omar, those horror stories are almost myths. VA is usually just like any other loan. It's clean, it's easy, it's a great loan. But there have been some horror stories, and those horror stories, what is it? One negative thing out of 100, that's usually the story that's told. So yeah, no, these are three very real universal problems that we continue to hear from sellers.
The solution is this program we're going to talk about, the Ribbon Homestar Cash Advantage Program. Did I say that right, Parker?
That's right, the Homestar
All right.
Cash Advantage Program powered by Ribbon. It sounds like a multivitamin, but it's even better.
That's right. That's a good one. Okay, so what is this program and what's this and how is it going to solve the problems that we just mentioned, right? Well, with this program, you can see for yourself. I'm not going to read everything because you guys can see it, right? But it's going to help. It's going to protect you if you have an appraisal gap. It's going to make you different because you're going to be able to present your offer all cash, but still close with your VA loan. Parker, I know you can speak a little bit more on that.
So this sounds way trippier than it actually is. So let's imagine, Omar, that you are one of those high net worth individuals that's got $5 million in the bank, right?
Right.
Well, just because you have $5 million, that doesn't mean that you want to liquidate your assets and actually spend all that money, even if you're going to be spending a large chunk of that $5 million on a really amazing investment like a home. So, what high net worth individuals do is they'll go in and they will make an all cash offer on a home, and they have to provide something called proof of funds. So, let's say you, Omar, you got $5 million. Wouldn't that be nice? I'd like to have $5 million. But you, Omar, you got $5 million. You see a house for sale for 1 million. And what do? You make an offer on it, and it's an all cash offer. Okay. You're making an all cash offer, and you're showing your proof of funds because you're proving to the seller, hey, I got $1 million in the bank. I actually have more than $1 million in the bank. But just because you have that cash and just because you could use that cash doesn't mean that you want to use that cash. So, what have high net worth individuals, aka rich folks, what have they been doing for decades? They make an all cash offer, but they also have something called a third party financing addendum, which all that means is, hey, I would like to not use my cash. I would like to use financing. I'd like to get a loan and buy the house with a loan instead. But you know what? In the event that the loan thing doesn't work out, I got so much money, I'll just buy it with cash anyway, even though it's not my number one choice. So this is something that's been going on and on and on. The problem is it's not a strategy that's been allowed for folks who don't have millions of dollars in the bank to actually use. So this is what Ribbon does: is it allows you, Ribbon, through a partnership with Homestar, allows you to use proof of funds to show the seller that you can, if you can't get a loan, that you can buy the house with cash. All right, and we'll talk a little bit through. And you need to sign up now so that you can get this customized breakdown video that I do that literally walks you step by step. So if you're really interested in this, sign up, get that video, and you will be like a cash advantage powered by Ribbon Genius by the time you watch that video. But I digress. Here's a simple thing, right? This program allows you to act and function like a high net worth individual. This program allows you as a veteran to make an all cash offer, but you still get to use your VA loan. You still get to show up to the closing table with that VA loan. Now, if for some reason you buy a bunch of jet skis, I know you love jet skis, Omar, you buy a bunch of jet skis and you kind of blow your chance of actually getting a loan, well, that's when Ribbon will step in and buy the house with cash because it is a guaranteed sell on the seller's side. So, in summary, Omar, how is this a solution? Well, you get to act like a high net worth individual. You get to make an all cash offer, but you still get to show up on closing day with a normal VA loan. Does that help? Does that make sense?
It makes sense. That makes sense. And we're going to break that down a little bit further. That way you guys can kind of see exactly how it works. 'Cause I know it could sound a little bit just too good to be true when you first hear it's like all cash offer, but I still close my VA loan. Like that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because this is a program that not enough people have heard of that we're trying to get out there so you guys can be aware of it. So like, hey, this is like a tool that you could use for yourself, right? Give you an advantage, give you a leg up. Because I know you've been beaten up the last 2 years. If you're a veteran trying to buy a house, I know you've been beaten up because you probably got your offer rejected, and you probably were like, hey, it's not now's not the time. Let's just wait. Let's wait. Well, your time is now, and it's here. It's here. So really quickly, let's go over the home seller perspective. Hey, if you're a home seller and you get uh, this type of offer, just know that it's 100% guaranteed because you're getting the financial backing of an institution. I don't want to take away too much of your steam, Parker, but I've heard it so many times already because we do webinars like this at least once a month. But if you're a home seller, you should have every confidence that your home is going to be sold for whatever the agreed upon amount is, right?
So here's the big thing. If you're a home seller and you receive a cash offer, People love cash because it's clean. You can go really fast with it, but cash is not guaranteed. If I make an all cash offer and I've put up $5,000 in earnest money, I can still walk away from that deal. Sure, you get to keep my earnest money, but in the day, I can walk away the day of closing. So just because it's a cash deal doesn't mean it's guaranteed. That's what actually makes, and it's going to sound crazy, if you're a seller and you receive a ribbon offer, it's actually in a lot of ways better than just a straight up cash offer. And here's why I say that, because once the 7-day inspection period is done, and that's the one thing that makes ribbon a little bit different, you can't waive that inspection period. You got to have a 7-day inspection period, because if ribbon has to step in and buy it, they're going to make sure they're not buying a broken house. But once that 7-day inspection period is done, if you're the seller, it does not matter what the buyer does. If the buyer shows up on closing day, sweet, you get your money. If the buyer doesn't show up on closing day, sweet, you get your money. So once that 7-day inspection period is done, whether it's the buyer buying it with a loan or whether it's ribbon coming to the rescue and buying it with cash, you're gravy. So if I'm in a seller's shoes and I get a ribbon offer, yeah, I'm kind of looking at my watch, counting down the days to get through that 7-day inspection period. But come day 8, I don't care when I'm closing. I'm popping that champagne. I'm counting that money in my bank account, because I know after 7 days, there's nothing that can get in the way of me actually being able to sell and close on my home. So that's the beautiful part from a seller's perspective with this program.
Mm, If you're a home seller and the deal went south for whatever reason, let us know in the comments because I love
Yes.
seeing what happens for a deal to get, to kind of go south when you're in escrow. So comment down below. Now I think we're going to get into da-da-da, da-da-da, the Homestar Cash Advantage Program powered by Ribbon. There we go. That's it. That's it. So this is what we're here.
Nice. Look at
This is what
that.
we're here for, folks. This is it. This is the program. If nothing else, just remember Homestar Cash Advantage Program powered by Ribbon, so you can Google it later. I'm sure you'll come across us because we're doing so much content around this. So if you have any more follow-up questions, but this is it. This is the program that we really want to get more awareness of, because the power this has, especially for people like us, right? People everyday people who want just a chance to attain home ownership. It makes it even more possible with this program. So,
And Omar, man, if you're a veteran, not only should you want to own a home, you deserve to own a home. Like, it does not matter. When my wife and I, our godson who got custody of when he was in high school, he's in the Air Force right now. And for the most part, besides what's happening in Ukraine, it's been a pretty peaceful time to be enlisted. But even if you're enlisted in a peaceful time, it's intense. It is no joke. When you sign up to serve your country, regardless of when you're doing that, by the time you come out, whether it's after 4 or 6 years, 50 years, the least that we can do as a society and as a country is make it incredibly easy for the men and women in uniform to own a home, period. So if you're a veteran, I want you to have the mindset, not like, man, it would be nice to own a home, or golly, I really feel like I should own a home. Your mindset needs to be, I deserve to own a home. I deserve home ownership. Or maybe even better, I've earned home ownership. I didn't earn it through the typical, mommy, daddy give me money. I earned home ownership because for X years, I literally sacrificed my life, body, and soul for our country. And that's the least
yeah.
that I can get back. I mean, it's just true. And so, like, if you're a veteran, have that bulldog mentality, because you've earned it. You earned the right to own a home. And no one should be able to stand in your way of getting that right, in my opinion. Okay. 3 steps needed to convert it. I know I'm preaching to the choir, Omar, but seriously,
No,
it's
no, it gets me pumped up when hearing you say that, because hey, if one thing that is so important along with this program is working with the right realtor and lender that specialize, that have worked the VA loan process, that understand it, right? Because that's kind of like, I think, where people fall a little short, is that sometimes you may not get the best representation and they don't understand all the nuances of this program, or just like the VA loan. And that's when you kind of fall into like these little traps where it's like, man, it sucks. It didn't work out the way because maybe it was preventable. Maybe it was preventable. So,
so Omar, I taught middle school for years before becoming a lender. So here's what I need you to do is
okay,
we're gonna do something called modeling. All right.
okay,
So All right, Omar, here we go. And if you're watching at home, I need you to do this. Whether it's a recording, we're watching. All right, big brother, here we go. So, step one, Omar, let me see a finger. Let me just see step one. All
Number
right,
one,
step one, get access to Ribbons Cash. Can you say that for me?
get access to Ribbons Cash.
Step two, request a free evaluation. Can you say that for me?
Step two, request a free evaluation.
And step three, write the offer. Can you say that for me?
Step three, this is the German three, for those of you know the movie that's from, write the offer.
That's right. You know what's the best part? Thank you, Omar. You're an excellent student. The best part, step one, step two, step three, there's steps that Omar and I are doing. It's nothing that you have to do. This is all that we do. Really, the only thing you need to do, I just need to get you pre approved. So you need to hook up with me and Omar. I need to get you pre approved. Let's see how much home you can buy. We'll get you pre approved for a VA loan. Or if you're not a veteran, I can get you pre approved for any type of loan. But once you're pre approved with me, boom, you've got access. Step one, you've got access to cash. Two, Omar is going to, when you find a home that you like, he's going to request a free valuation from Ribbon. And three, Omar is going to write a bomb, you know what offer, and he's going to get you that house. So, how beautiful is that? I mean, three steps to get something, that's easy enough, even if you had to do it yourself. But really, it's one step get pre approved, and Omar and I will do the rest of it for you.
Do you see the roadmap?
I love this roadmap. Omar, you did such a good job. For those of you who don't know, Omar did all of these slides. And if you're just now joining, and this is the only thing that you hear, I want you to know you're in the presence of a Canva God. Here we go. All right, step one, inspection period. So let's talk about this. You've gotten pre approved. Remember the steps? Step one, you got pre approved, so you get access to cash. Two, we've evaluated the property. We know how much Ribbon is willing to pay for it. And three, Omar's written an offer. It's been accepted. Now let's go through the roadmap. Step one, offer's been accepted. So what do we need to do? Inspection period. This means that the offer's been accepted. We have a 7-day inspection period. And that's where you, as the buyer, you're paying for home inspection. Heck, you can do a roof inspection, plumbing inspection. You can do whatever you want to. It's called due diligence for a reason. It's a time, in this case, 7 days, where you get, as a buyer, a period of time to do your due diligence. All right. So now the inspection, though, Omar, you've bought yourself, it looks to be, you got accepted. You haven't bought it yet, but you've bought yourself a sexy, sexy house. You're so fired up. We've got
Yeah.
7 days, inspection period. It's done. Now, step two. Once that inspection period is completed, the sale is guaranteed. This is kind of scary for the buyer because here's the thing. You don't want to sketch out on this because if it sounds too good to be true, well, I mean, of course it's too good to be true. There's going to be a catch. We'll talk about that catch in a second. The catch is not nearly as bad as you think it is. But I want you to know step two, if you're a seller and you're watching this, man, your journey's like pretty much done, right? Because once the inspection period is done,
Yeah.
it's a guaranteed sale. So pop that champagne. Step three, closing day. Now here's what's really cool. As long as you show up with your VA loan or whatever loan, you show up to closing day. All you got to do is Ribbon is owed 1% of the sales price. Now, for our credit, for my veterans who have excellent credit, and I'm defining excellent credit as a 720 or higher, then I'm going to cover that 1% for you. All right, straight up. Now, for our veterans who have got credit below a 720, we're going to do the best we can. It really depends on the market. Rates are a little bit high right now, so it kind of depends what the market's doing. And so if you have below a 720, at the very least, we're going to cover half of that fee, half of that 1%, right? And that other half, and this is the great part, it's got to be paid by either the seller, the lender, or the realtor. If you're a veteran, you cannot pay that ribbon fee. It is illegal. All right. Now, I will tell you this, if you're like, oh my gosh, that means that the deal might fall apart. No, it won't. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a seller and you know all you got to do is just kick in a little money to have that guaranteed sell, you'll do it, especially with this market cooling down. Now, four, let's say though that you show up. This is step four. Let's say that you show up and you didn't have your VA loan ready. You bought those jet skis. You maybe opened up a credit card when you were supposed to. Guess what? The show's not done. What happens? Ribbon steps in, buys the home with cash, and then you've got up to 180 days to rent back from Ribbon that home that Ribbon's bought, and Ribbon's reserved it for you. Ribbon is holding it for you. Think about how much a home's value can go up in a matter of 6 months. I mean, like think about Omar, like the difference between buying a home December of 2019 and July of 2020, we're talking like almost 100% increase because that's when the market went crazy. So the bottom line is if you don't show up with your VA loan because of whatever reason, it's okay. Now, it's a little bit more expensive. We'll talk about that in a second. But at the end of the day, Ribbon has bought that home with cash. They've taken it off the market and they have frozen that sales contract price, which means you have up to 6 months to buy it back from Ribbon at that original contract price, no matter what the
Mm,
market has done. And that
mm.
market has exploded and you see property appreciating by 50, 60%. Guess what? You just won the lottery pretty much because Ribbon is still contractually obligated to sell you back your home at the original contract price. And the last step, obviously, is to repurchase that house back from Ribbon. At that point, instead of Ribbon charging 1%, they're going to charge 2%, and that's a fee that either the lender, the agents, and or the seller is going to have to pay. But still, if you're a veteran, let's just close with the VA loan. There's no reason to pay Ribbon rent and try to figure out. Let's just get it right the first time. Let's show up. Let's buy that puppy with our VA loan, and then let's pop some champagne too. Because as buyers, we need some champagne because the sellers they've been drinking for like 2 weeks before us, right?
I know that's right.
So yeah, that's right. All right, so that's it. That's the step. Super simple. Let's keep going. Let's do it.
Homes we
Lower on
buy and
delay.
homes we don't buy.
This is easy. Just read this, right? Like
Yeah.
these are the homes that Ribbon will buy. These are the homes they won't buy. We all we all got it. Great. Perfect. Screenshot that.
And there's our pretty mugs.
I kind of picture Omar just like and I mean this in the best possible way. Like
Yeah.
one of those really crappy Steven Seagal 80s action movies that are also really awesome because they're so entertaining. I can just like see me and you in like this Steven Seagal, like, super low budget where we're like fighting Nazis and Russians together. And so that's what I think when I see that Awesome Squad slide. But instead of the
Uh,
Awesome Squad being in a crappy movie and fighting Russians and Nazis, how about you let this Awesome Squad get you money to go buy a house? Because I'm telling you, no one's going to be better at getting you the money you need to buy a home. And no one, especially if you're a veteran, no one's going to be better than my dude Omar and going out and getting you that dream home. So as cheesy as it is, I mean, it's kind of accurate. He really is, I'm the negotiator. He's the closer. So let's get it done.
Hey guys, thank you for watching. Again, we put on these monthly webinars and we're going to continue to do it to continue to get the message out for this awesome program. And we want to work with more veterans. So if you found this helpful, drop us a like or give us a comment below on like, hey, thanks for showing us this because that just gives us motivation to keep doing this because we want to get better at providing this as much value to you guys from these webinars. And yeah, I had fun with this one, Parker. I think we
This is great,
really knocked
man.
it out. Yeah. Okay, guys.
Appreciate you, Omar. I'll talk to you soon.